Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Fresh Baked Disney, the best of Disney Baked Fresh Daily. I am your host, David, and I am standing in front of Tomorrowland in another picturesque backdrop, just like we did for Fantasyland with the screen behind us.
Oh yeah, so beautiful, so stunning.
The beautiful, stunning,
so iconic.
Iconic. Wait, there's the end. The iconic Astro Orbiter is right behind us. We're gonna take you on a little walking tour today of Tomorrowland. Not so much to show you the aesthetic beauty of Tomorrowland, because I mean,
it's seen better days. It's also seen worse days.
It's not the most aesthetically pleasing
and again,
land.
it has seen worse days, but it's also seen better days.
But there's lots to talk about.
Yes.
Because we've got things happening, things possibly happening in the future. So we're gonna walk around here a little bit in Tomorrowland. We'll tell you a little bit about Astro Orbit here in a second. But let's see what we can see in the land of
tomorrow.
1987. Ian, talk to me for a second before we even go in there. You've got this entrance to Tomorrowland, which it used to have the world clock, which was pretty neat.
And didn't push the walkway so thin on the sides.
Right. How do you feel about Astro Orbiter being dropped right here? How does that make you feel when you enter Tomorrowland?
Not only does it create traffic choke points, it also visually, instead of giving the term is a weenie, something that visually draws you deeper into the land, they put the weenie right out front.
That's not how it works, right? The weenie is supposed to bring you into the land.
Because it used to be up on that platform which we'll get to.
That wasn't even the weenie. Wasn't it the rocket?
Well, the rocket. I mean, they wasn't called the Astro Orbiter. It was the rocket jets.
No, the Mission to Mars rocket.
I think May originally opening day, yes.
Yeah, because the view would have been a little bit, because there was no people mover tracks, so the view would have let you see in a little bit more. Right. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, we've talked about this a little bit before, but I am not a fan of this right here.
Also, when it's on the ground, it's not really any different from Dumbo. When it's higher up, what helps differentiate it from Dumbo is the height.
It so much is just the Tomorrowland version of Dumbo.
But in rotating the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Having it higher on the platform gives you that extra, I'm a lot higher up, right? It helps differentiate it from Dumbo.
I do like the ride, though. Whenever we go on it, I have a good time, even though I get a little nauseated.
There's nothing inherently wrong with spinners. But spinners, what can be, if you do them too much in the same area, they feel repetitive, and then you say, there's something more interesting.
Yeah, I just feel like
in small doses.
Yeah, the enjoyment that I get out of a ride like this is in large part for me being able to see a vista beneath you.
That's it. Spinners like that are great if there's a view to go with it.
Right. And this one, your view is actually of the hub, and not so much of Tomorrowland.
Which is why also when it was up top, that would
have been fantastic. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. Did you?
No, I don't remember that. That's also why I'm doubtful about the Inside Out spinner, because you're surrounded by the coaster helix, nothing to see.
Right, yeah, that's a fair point.
Because the coaster supports block the view of the bay.
What are you seeing? I know, your emotions getting whirled around. How's it you're saying?
Spinners live and die by their view.
They sure do. We are now in the heart of Tomorrowland, where this is, the choke points created by,
we're past the choke point now.
Well, right, but there used to be more choke points right here also, actually, because of the people mover.
And the planters and slash benches.
Now, would you prefer this land not have the tracks in it? Like, is the land improved at all if you just simply take the tracks out?
The path becomes a bit more open, and the view becomes more open, but you lose a shade structure as well.
What about the aesthetic?
Again, I'm debating this with myself outright.
Right. Yeah.
Is that the view becomes more open but less dynamic because there's not a thing there.
And then also, by extension, while we're on that topic, you would be taking out the centerpiece over there too, the carcass of the old people mover rocket rods.
See, that becomes an issue because now you have nothing further back to the Drawing. Because while that is in the way, there is still something back there.
Yeah. What if they took that out and put the Astro Orbiter back there?
Oh, I'd be all for that.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd be 100% into that. And I can't figure out why they haven't done that, because you can just pick that up and take it over and put it over here.
I'm assuming part of it is not wanting to then deal with making things ADA compliant, because whether it's because you have to deal with having an elevator or a...
Well, no, it would still be on the ground.
What?
It would still be on the ground.
So here, but down.
Right.
It's okay.
I mean,
It's not-
yeah, 100%. I'm with you. I want that too. Yeah. I know it's not as good, but I don't know. It just feels like that's an easy solution, and the fact that they haven't done that yet suggests to me that they have a plan.
It suggests to me that they don't know what to do, or that they do, but it's the lowest priority. And
Right.
always, so here's the thing. I'm sure there's lots of beautiful ideas in their art archives,
Yeah.
things they've thought about at one time or another. But Tomorrowland will always be the lowest priority land because
Always.
A, it's tougher to crack.
Yep.
And things like Fantasyland or Toontown are a lot easier to be like, oh, well, okay, we put more fantasy IPs there.
Yeah, IPs everywhere.
No one gets upset with it
Yeah,
because
there's very few Tomorrowland facing IPs.
Yeah,
But look at this place though.
And fantasy IPs in Fantasyland, for the most part, no one's gonna be cranky about it.
No?
They might be upset about losing some of the landscaping or bummed out. Like I like Autopia not so much because it's future, but because I do enjoy the pleasant experience of driving through a beautifully well.
I love Autopia.
That has lots of old bushes and trees that have a sense of age and history.
Yeah.
But that's me enjoying good theme park landscaping, and not because it speaks to Tomorrowland.
Right. No, exactly right. I love Autopia for those reasons, not because that has anything to do with Tomorrowland or tomorrow.
Because visually it is a pleasant experience. That
Yeah, it's
this-
nice.
This is lovely.
It's nice. The trees and the history.
Just like I would love to see whatever they do with the subspace still have a water feature. It doesn't have to be as big as the lagoon, but
Yeah,
have
that's a tough one.
But still have a water feature.
That's a tough one. I don't know if you can do
Because
that.
water features add atmosphere.
Yeah.
Here they keep the air temperature around them lower.
Yeah, yeah.
If there's moving water, it creates a kinetic energy. Water
Let's keep
features
walking and
are-
talking. Yeah, I'm with you.
Like, I totally get subs are expensive to maintain. They're super low
Well,
capacity.
expensive, yeah.
I totally get all of that.
The ADA and OSHA
Yeah.
type
So my
requirements on
request
that are
is, if the
ridiculous.
subs gotta go, just give me a decent-sized water feature still in that area.
What could that possibly be, though? Man, it's going to be a while before we get anywhere on this thing. But in the meantime, they're not in a big hurry to do it because look at how crowded this place is. People still love Tomorrowland. Look at this. Is Autopia down?
Oh, I'm trying to tell. No, it's just some. Looks like it's just.
Oh yeah, it's
way-
open. I don't understand, Ian, why people don't appreciate this more. I don't understand it.
Well, I think, like we said, at the end of the day, it is essentially a go-kart on rails.
So what?
Okay, we explain why
We have 4 spinners.
You're not explaining why we enjoy it. But I think to a lot of guests or just other fans, they say so much space dedicated to something that could be more impressive.
I'm impressed.
I know. Yeah, we explained what we appreciate. And if it's
No,
not
I know.
thing in the world, what we appreciate about it.
Somebody actually asked me in a.
But unfortunately, in a park where space is so premium,
Yeah.
eventually that question has
No,
to
I get it. Yeah.
I don't.
Whatever
that's the
they
kind of thing
do-
that bums me out too, because even if you plant more plants, it takes time for that stuff to reach that point of.
There were no trees like this when they built Autopia.
Now there's a veritable forest of bushes and trees.
Right, that's how long it took, though. That was-
where you see the backside from the train. It feels like this place has been here for years.
Feels like a jungle.
It has. Right,
Yeah.
it grows, a sense of age grows into it.
60
And
years.
You can't shortcut it.
No, you can't.
Yeah, anything they plant will get there someday.
Yeah.
But there's that in between. You're like, man, I miss it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, whatever they do, it had better be just mind-blowing. That's all I can say. Mind-blowing. Liz and I were talking this morning about the Main Street Fire Department. We visited that this morning, and there's some stormtroopers right here.
Any intelligence regarding resistance forces may be rewarded. So, let's go.
I don't know why. I love this. I love stormtroopers walking around the park.
This thing I feel will be more enjoyable when it's in an appropriate place in the land.
True, yeah.
You're walking around Tomorrowland. I think I mentioned before it's
It is a little shoehorned, yeah.
also because this thing, yay, fascist army troopers walking in the optimistic vision of tomorrow. Huzzah!
Well, considering that a lot of the initial Tomorrowland was financed by the Monsanto company, who aren't exactly heroes of.
Isn't that funny? Back, if we only knew.
I know, right? We're like, oh, Monsanto, you guys are great. You're great for the economy. You're great for commerce.
Miracles through molecules and chemicals. Huh, yeah, we should have seen that coming. We
Oh my
probably should
God.
have seen that coming.
Oh, we were talking about the Main Street Fire Department. And I said, okay, let's just imagine blue sky. You could fit a new attraction in that space. Okay? Let's just say, somehow...
Jungle Cruise is directly behind it, right?
No, I know. Well, in the space occupied by the actual fire department. Right. Now, Ian, it's the year 2120.
We're all underwater.
We're all... It's the year 2120. And they figured out how to put a VR simulator ride in the space of the Main Street Fire Department. Would you get rid of the Main Street Fire Department for a VR simulator?
No.
Of course not.
Also, I think that level of attraction, I think Main Street shouldn't have that level of attraction.
No, I agree.
For, like, the point of Main Street is you're entering, you're being
Yes.
eased into the rest of the experience.
And that's, you can say the
So
same
that's why
thing
you
about
have things- that's why
Autopia.
you have things like, you know, the Main Street vehicles or the Opera House being the show. It's
Yeah.
not a full-on, this is a high intensity, let's go kind of like
Right.
it's easing you into the show. And that's
See,
the point.
there is more to theming a theme park, building a theme park, than attractions per square foot. There are things that you can't even see, touch, hear, or whatever that you don't even realize are happening to you. And it is what makes that, whenever people ask you, what is it about Disneyland you love, there are moments, a lot of times, you're like, I can't describe it.
Because it's the merging of theater and engineering.
Yeah.
Of treating something not just as in terms of physically how do we make it work, it's how do we engage someone on a sensory and a storytelling
Yes. Yeah. And that's what are you going to do here that's going to be so much better than this?
I don't know, but follow-up question, in your minds, does that entire space get devoted to Fantasyland, or does some of it get split with Tomorrowland and Fantasyland?
We're talking about all of Autopia?
Some Autopia, that whole chunk of land, because if one goes, the other, that whole space goes.
Well, are you asking me my opinion or what I've heard?
What would you want to do?
I want Autopia. That's what I want. We'll put that first.
Hey, Mr. Blue Sky.
Blue Sky, all right.
Has to go. Has to go. In your mind, do you devote all of it to Fantasyland?
Blue
Or-
Sky, I want
or-
Tomorrowland.
So all of it Tomorrowland, or
No, you know what?
do
I'll
cut the line?
I'll give you the back half. I'll give you the
So
back
you cut
half.
the line roughly a little after where the lagoon ends.
Where the motorboat cruise area. Yeah, the lagoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because once you get to the motorboat, now you're really close to Matterhorn and its atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I feel like at that point you can't have Tomorrowland encroaching that.
Right.
Because that's the other thing. The lagoon creates a good divider between Tomorrowland.
Well, and that's- yeah.
Which is why I like the lagoon.
That area with the
A separation transition area.
Yeah.
So it's not
very hard.
and fantasy
Right.
fight against each other.
the monorail and the Autopia tracks blend in nicely.
Yeah, creates a transition.
Between, what I call Fantasyland B back there, the small world part of Fantasyland. Yeah. Fascinating conversation, Ian. Let's keep going down this way. I mean, what's better than this, Ian? What's better than 8 mile an hour, gas powered, noisy? I love all of that.
I get it. It's also a tough sell to a management that's bigger, faster, more intense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a tough sell to say this has inherent value.
No competitors are building anything like this.
No.
So does it compete?
It becomes very tough to argue qualitative intrinsic value.
Yeah.
When you're sort of
Well, that's a hard thing to sell to a suit.
yeah, in general, that's
You know what I mean?
kind of a point.
Yeah. Suits don't understand those terms. They don't understand qualitative, quantitative,
And it's just,
maybe.
that's not their job.
Right, no?
Why you have to kind of sometimes get clever about arguing your case.
Yeah. It's hard to just say, it looks great, I love it. Sell that. I mean,
I know. Everything I just said told you I want to feature.
come on! You want to get rid of this?
You're yelling at me when I'm
I know, I'm sorry, Ian. I know you are definitely on my team on this, but I'm just like, you're my sounding board for this. I don't see how anybody could ever want to get rid of this.
And it's not, and again, it's not even, well, I like the old subs, and there's elements of the subs that currently I still like.
Yeah.
I also get why you replace them. I totally get that. Like that's.
As long as it's amazing, that's all. Please let it be amazing.
I totally get it. Just please tell me you're keeping in mind the value that comes with this setup.
Yeah. This is stupid. I hate this. Let's build a roller coaster.
Grabs your attention.
You know, I'll say this. One thing I don't like about Autopia,
Yes.
and well, I guess it's by extension a lot of Tomorrowland, is that I don't like the scheme. I don't like the design scheme.
Yeah, physically the shapes are a remnant of, the Tomorrowland 98 makeover.
Yeah, or even the 60s.
They've covered the color over from all, the bronze.
Oh, yeah,
and, but the shapes are still there.
Yeah.
The shape language is still that same, we want to be Jules Verne, but without actually having designed it to look Jules Verne.
Yep. Yeah, this, I'm not a fan of this right here. I wish they could make a way of that, making that a little more aesthetically pleasing. Oh, here we go. Guys, we're actually riding a ride right now. How about that? Goodbye, Autopia. Hello. Oh, I saw the train. Does it count if I see the train from the monorail? Is it the same? I feel like it's different.
I feel like it's easier to catch it from the monorail.
Yeah. I wish you could make a comfortable living working at Disneyland, because I would definitely do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like a solid livable wage.
I worked at Six Flags for a second, so I'll say that's not the same as you,
Yeah.
but in terms of operations, it's a comparable experience.
I would imagine.
That's why I feel for everyone in the cast members, even when it's not great service.
I've worked at a Blockbuster. I've sold shoes. I've done a lot of retail stuff. Direct contact with customers. It ain't pleasant. It's not pleasant.
I feel like everyone needs to work kind of a craft job, like part-time job is once in your life, just for the sake of empathy for those who are still behind the counter. Otherwise, it can be very easy to not realize what is on the other end.
I feel like that does help me personally, knowing that.
When you've been the other person, it's always to be like, oh, okay, no, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
And exit.
Yes.
Remember that one time when they were going to build a hotel here and they were going to build a new monorail depot?
And then they closed a bunch of businesses.
And then they closed a bunch of businesses, that aren't open still.
For
And
those
then the
of
whole
you
plan fell
continuing
through,
with
and then they were like,
us,
a bunch of empty buildings.
And then they decided they're going to do a for-profit pop-up Mickey photo opportunity for Instagrammers inside
Until they can think of a permanent resident.
because they have no other good ideas for that place. Remember that time?
Yeah. Accent.
Yeah.
But you can figure it out way a bit. Or like Pete and Tigger sound very similar.
Well, he does. I would imagine that's a lot of his voices. All right, we never get to look on this side. We're always looking at the other
Oh
side.
no, just for a while you were trying to build the
Matterhorn, yeah.
and the smaller road queue.
Thank goodness they finally did something with that, huh? Oh my God! Okay. Oh boy. Woo. We were just saying, hey, it's so much better than bag check, but at least it's not out there.
Because when I got here about 10:30, all the lanes were open, and it was fun.
Where do you think they'll go opening day? Like, do you think?
Well, prior to because the reservation thing, I'm less worried about people swarming.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's 3 weeks later that I'm more concerned.
It'll still be bad. It'll still be
For the
bad.
reservation thing, I'd say they might have to close Harbor.
Well, it's a health and safety issue. There's a liability for Disney there.
That's also why they expanded that security thing, so if they need to, they can have every lane open and try to churn people through as quick as possible.
Gotta be ready. I can see the Autopia from the monorail. That's always fun. What is not to love? I ask you. Look at that. Oh.
And beneath us is the Autopia.
This is stupid. Let's get rid of this. This is dumb.
A road to tomorrow.
He's sad with a grin on his face.
See that bridge right there, Ian? That bridge is what I love most about Disneyland. Because you and I will never set foot on that bridge.
No.
I don't even know what that bridge is for.
I mean, it's for customer maintenance or evac, access, but
They themed it.
yes.
They made a Matterhorn themed bridge.
And its presence makes the area that much better.
Fun.
The best things in theme parks are the little forgotten corners, or the little things you walk by.
Yes.
The details that are the place there you don't think about, and then you come back here. Wow, that's just beautiful. That's a beautiful little corner.
Yeah. Look at that. It's amazing. I'm just glad it's there.
It's those places where if someone took a random photo and you're like, wait, where's that in the park? I swear I know it. It's
Right?
beautiful. It's a little corner
It's
that.
a testament
Yeah.
to how complete they can be, at least. They can be. They're not always that complete. This Tomorrowland episode got a little soapboxy. When Liz and I were doing Fantasyland, it started off as like, look at how wonderful Fantasyland is, and by the end of it, we're like, what's gonna happen to Fantasyland when Beauty and the Beast takes over, and all this stuff we're gonna lose. And we got a little dark there at the end. Tomorrowland one, having said all the things that we were just saying, and well, I guess it does make sense. I like Tomorrowland, and I would actually be okay if they didn't change it at all. I'd be okay with that.
I think it does still need to have change. I think it's still. There's things I love about Tomorrowland, but I also want it to be better.
I do too. Yeah.
When things do inevitably have to drastically change, remember what things about what are currently here do work. Right? Remember the elements, whether it's the views, kinetic energy of things above you. Remember what things do work. Try to incorporate that stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's what this land needs more than anything is that sense of energy and motion, the kineticism, just getting things moving, and that's what this land needs more than anything. But I'm good with it. I'm good with it. If they decided to wait, I'm okay with that. I know people are in a hurry, but Tomorrowland for me is still kind of very retro in a lot of ways. So. Tomorrow, Ian, we're going to go to a place that doesn't need any fixing whatsoever, if you ask me.
Arguably one of the most perfect Disneylands ever crafted.
We're going to Critter Country.
You know what? Disclaimer, I do love Critter Country too. That's just not what I thought he was going to say.
No, Fresh Baked. We're going to New Orleans Square. So hang out with us tomorrow. And until then, thanks for watching. Like the video. Be a pal and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you tomorrow. Fresh Baked. Bye. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!